Hello, this is the presentation of my final project for CS50 Introduction to Programming with Python. It is a program titled kindle2org. This program takes all the notes, highlights and bookmarks stored in the Amazon Kindle and transforms them into an org document that's more organized and that's easier to work with. So if you know the Amazon Kindle, you probably know that it stores all the highlights, notes and bookmarks you made in a file named myclippings.txt. This file is easily accessible and has a consistent structure, but it piles every element without further organization. This makes difficult to organize the highlights, the notes and the bookmarks, to identify from where book each one belongs and to integrate them into a workflow that's more efficient. So this program creates an org mode file with all the contents of my clippings.txt file and organize them under the title of the book and specifies whether if the clipping is a note, a highlight or a bookmark. So to use it, you can just in the command line first select your clippings file and then select the org file you want to create. So what it does, it just organizes all this information. You can see here, for example, on my right side, my clippings original file. You see how each entry is divided by these lines. It's not very organized. And on the left side, you can see the end result, which is an org mode file that it's better appreciated within emacs. Here, for example, you can see how it looks. You can see how there's one heading per each books you have on your my clippings file, and under that heading you can see further division. Here, for example, of this Michel de Montaigne book, you can see how I have all these highlights. And if you go inside one of them, you can see here the quote, the location, the page, and when it was made. Now, if you have not just highlights but also notes, for example with this book Tip Work by Cal Newport, you can see how it's divided into notes and highlights. You can see how notes write in its heading the content of the note you wrote in your Kindle, and under it there's the quote associated to it. So in this way you can separate the notes from the highlights, which don't have necessarily an annotation associated with them. In these cases, they're stored just under the date when they were made. And finally, you can also save the bookmarks. For example, this for this Balzac novel, I have all these bookmarks, and you can see the bookmarks are just stored as a plain list. So in this way, you can have all of your clippings from your Kindle, but organized by title and by type of note. I think this is very useful. It certainly improves my workflow, and I'm sure it will do the same with for other people who also use org mode.